The battlefield was silent, except for the distant echo of explosions fading into the alien horizon. Craters pocked the scorched earth, smoking like the planet itself was wounded. Scattered among the wreckage were the bodies of soldiers and machines, but one figure moved, slowly, painfully, limping as if each step cost it a lifetime. It was an alien war dog, a living weapon designed for destruction. Its limbs were shredded, one eye clouded with dust and blood, its fur matted with grime and gore. The very creatures that once commanded it had left it behind, deeming it useless, just another casualty to be forgotten. It whimpered softly, a sound that could have been mistaken for rage, or for despair. Every instinct screamed at it to fight, to attack, but its body betrayed it. It tried to stand, only to collapse again onto the cold, lifeless ground. The sky above turned a blood-red hue as the sun dipped behind jagged mountains, casting long shadows over the desolation. Then came the sound of footsteps, not heavy like the alien army, but cautious and deliberate. A small human reconnaissance team emerged from the smoke, scanning the battlefield. Their eyes fell on the creature. Most of them hesitated. It was a weapon of war, terrifying even in its wounded state. One soldier whispered, "It's dangerous. Don't touch it." But another soldier shook his head, his voice firm. "No, look at it. It's dying, and we can't just leave it here." The alien war dog's head lifted slightly, ears twitching, sensing life where there should have been none. Its gaze met the humans, calculating, wary, and somewhere deep in its wild, broken mind, hope flickered, and that flicker would change everything. The humans circled the injured war dog cautiously, weapons raised, every instinct screaming that this creature could turn on them in an instant. Its breathing was ragged, a low, guttural growl escaping from cracked jaws. Each muscle twitched with a memory of combat, an engine of killing reduced to a fragile, bleeding shadow. "Keep your distance," one soldier barked, gripping his rifle tighter. "It's still a weapon. It could kill us all." But another shook his head, stepping closer. "No, look at it. It's hurt. It's barely moving. We can't just leave it to die." The war dog's eyes, one bright, one clouded, watched them. For a heartbeat, it seemed to weigh their intentions. And then, almost imperceptibly, it lowered its head. It could smell their fear, their caution, their hesitation. But it also sensed something new, something it had never felt in its entire life: mercy. One human, a medic named Jonas, knelt slowly, rifle slung across his back. "I'll go first," he said quietly. "I just want to see if it's alive, and maybe calm it down." The others tensed. The war dog's growl deepened, but it did not charge. Jonas moved inch by inch, speaking in low, steady tones. When he finally reached the creature, he extended a hand, palm open. The war dog sniffed the air, muscles coiled like springs, ready to strike. But instead, it flinched, not in aggression, but in pain. "All right, we're taking it with us," Jonas said after a tense moment. "We can't leave it here. We're not monsters." The team set to work, using ropes and makeshift slings to lift the war dog. It whimpered loudly, a sound that echoed across the battlefield like a warning, and maybe a plea. Its claws scraped the scorched earth as it tried to resist, not out of malice, but sheer exhaustion. Every step back toward their ship was a struggle, the creature's body weak but its instincts still sharp. One wrong move could have ended everything. Yet, with each careful movement, the humans proved something that had been foreign to the war dog its entire life. They were on its side. As the alien sun dipped lower, painting the sky in fiery reds and purples, the war dog looked at the humans carrying it. It didn't fully understand why they cared, or why anyone would care, but deep down, it realized something incredible. For the first time, it was not alone. And sometimes, that alone was enough to ignite a spark strong enough to survive. The human base was quiet, too quiet for a war zone. Soldiers moved with precision, repairing equipment and scanning the horizon for any sign of the enemy, but in the corner of the camp, all eyes were on the alien war dog. It lay on a makeshift stretcher, ribs broken, fur scorched, breathing ragged. Jonas knelt beside it, carefully cleaning wounds and whispering soft, steady words. The other humans kept a cautious distance, unsure whether this creature would lash out at any moment. The war dog growled softly at first, low and threatening, a warning ingrained by years of survival and conditioning. Every instinct screamed attack, defend, kill, but the humans didn't strike back. They moved slowly, spoke softly, and offered something it had never known: patience. Days passed. The bandages were changed, meals offered, and for the first time, the alien war dog ate without fear. It still flinched when hands approached, still snarled at sudden movements, but slowly, hesitantly, it began to follow Jonas around the camp. One evening, after a long day of repairs and patrols, Jonas sat quietly near the war dog, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of blood and gold. He didn't move too close. He just let the creature see him there. The war dog shifted, then in a trembling motion, rested its head on Jonas's knee, not as a weapon, not as a tool, but as a being finally allowing trust. The other humans watched in awe and disbelief. It's letting him touch it," one whispered, "after everything it's been through." Jonas smiled softly, his fingers brushing through the matted fur. "It knows we're not its enemy," he said, "and maybe it never really had an enemy like this before." For the first time in its life, the war dog felt something that wasn't fear, pain, or command. It felt connection. But peace was fragile. The distant rumble of alien engines reached the base, a reminder that the battlefield never truly slept. The war dog's ears twitched, muscles tensing instinctively. It was ready to fight, ready to protect those who had saved it, if needed. And in that moment, a silent bond was forged. Humans had shown mercy, and the alien war dog, broken and abandoned, had begun to understand loyalty. The spark of trust had been lit. Soon, it would become a blazing fire. The alarm blared across the human base before dawn. Smoke and fire lit the horizon as alien ships descended, their weapons cutting the sky with deadly precision. Soldiers scrambled, rifles clattering, while the base's defenses struggled to respond. The alien war dog had been resting, still weak from its injuries, but the sounds of battle ignited something deep within it. Its muscles coiled, instincts kicking in. Where there had been fear, there was now purpose. Where there had been pain, there was now resolve. Jonas grabbed his rifle, scanning the horizon. "Everyone, get to your positions," he shouted. His eyes fell on the war dog, standing tall despite its scars. "It's ready," he muttered, almost to himself. The first wave of alien soldiers stormed the perimeter. They expected chaos, but they hadn't counted on a weapon that had learned loyalty. The war dog lunged forward, fast and precise. It tore through the alien ranks, using every skill it had been trained for, not for destruction alone, but to protect its new family. Soldiers froze in disbelief. The creature they had rescued, the one left for dead, was now the difference between survival and annihilation. Its claws struck with deadly precision, its jaws snapping at any enemy that threatened the humans. Jonas ran beside it, covering its flank. It's fighting for us," he shouted, adrenaline surging. "Not for orders, because we saved it." The battle raged, and the alien war dog never faltered. It blocked attacks, intercepted threats, and even dragged wounded humans to safety. Every movement was a testament to the trust and bond that had formed in the quiet hours of recovery. By the time the sun rose, the battlefield was littered with alien remnants, retreating under the unexpected resistance. The humans were exhausted but alive, and the war dog stood amidst them, panting, blooded, yet victorious. The soldiers approached cautiously, unsure how to react to the creature that had once terrified them. Jonas knelt beside it, placing a hand on its head. "You saved us, just like we saved you," he whispered. The war dog looked around at the humans, a low, satisfied growl escaping its throat, not one of aggression, but of belonging. It had found a purpose beyond the battlefield: loyalty, trust, and the humans who had shown it mercy. And in that moment, it was no longer just a weapon. It was a guardian, a symbol of what humans could achieve when they chose compassion over cruelty. The battlefield was silent once more, but this time it was not death that lingered. It was a fragile peace. The humans were battered, exhausted, yet alive. And standing among them, scars gleaming in the early morning light, was the alien war dog. It had survived where others had abandoned it. It had fought where others had fled. And now, it didn't leave. It watched over the humans with alert, intelligent eyes, ready to spring into action at the first sign of danger, but no longer as a weapon of destruction, only as a guardian. Jonas knelt beside it, brushing the matted fur from its face. "You're one of us now," he said softly. The war dog's ears twitched, and it pressed its head against his shoulder, a silent acknowledgement of trust and loyalty. Word of the human's action spread quickly across the galaxy. Stories circulated of a species that had chosen to save a creature no one else valued, a weapon abandoned and left for dead. And the alien war dog became more than just a survivor. It became a symbol. It reminded everyone that even in the darkest war zones, compassion could turn the fiercest enemy into an ally, that a creature trained for killing could learn trust, that life, no matter how small or broken, could matter. The humans rebuilt their base, stronger and wiser, and the alien war dog patrolled the perimeter with unwavering vigilance. It no longer growled in fear or fury. It growled only to warn, to protect, to defend. And as the twin suns rose higher over the horizon, casting light across the scorched battlefield, the war dog stood proudly beside its human pack. No longer abandoned, no longer a weapon, not just a survivor. It was family,